Hey guys, welcome back to 𝘿𝙖𝙠𝓷. Today we have a new deck for you called the Moonblaze featuring the new Clefable from Brilliant Stars. With the Moonlit Miracle attack for only one colorless, you get to flip 3 coins, and for each heads you get to choose one of your bench Pokemon, search your deck for its evolution, evolve it, then shuffle your deck. So you get to do up to triple evolution with this attack. Stage 1, it's not a level ball card though, so we need our evolution incense for this card to evolve our Clefable. We're also intending on using Clefable to evolve our stage 2 card, Leon's Charizard, with the Royal Blaze attack, doing up to 300 damage with only 2 energies. Battle Sense as well, you get to use the stellar ability to draw cards and compress your deck from any cards that you don't need. So it's definitely a deck accelerator. All you need to do is evolve fast, then you get to use the ability to draw cards with. You don't actually need your Chinchinos. You get to Battle Sense as much as you can for up to 3 times in a row, and that actually helps you get the right cards out into your hand because we don't actually need a lot. We just need our Magma Basin at the right time, Leon to discard it as well. Obviously, we also need our free retreat cast form to help us play Magma Basin a little bit more easier if we want to be attaching 2 energies in a single turn. If we don't have any energies after using our Moonlit Miracle on our Charizard, we actually need to put forth a cast form so that we get to attach to the bench with our Magma Basin and then attach from our hand to our bench Charizard, retreat with that cast form, and we are good to go. Within a single turn, immediately after our Clefable gets knocked out, we get to do our Royal Blaze, Charizard up to 300 damage. Obviously, to start with, you can only do up to 200 plus, but it's okay. It's still not bad. 200 plus to start with, and then over time, it grows and grows. The amount of damage you get to do grew up to 300. If you play Leon from your hand, you get to do 330 max damage, plus that 1 copy of Choice Bell, we get to do 360 if we play Leon on the same turn. So we can kill a Eternatus VMAX, we can kill any VMAX with a big charm attached, we can kill 2 VMAXs if they have no tool cards attached to them. If we play Leon at just the right moment, if we have that 1 Choice Bell, obviously after using 1 attack, you're gonna have to expect your Charizard to get knocked out, so we can only do twice, 330 damage twice, or up to 360 damage once. So we can't actually do more than that, but if they are not playing any VMAXs, if they're playing a lot of V-Stars, we just need to do 300 damage, or even 280 by playing 1 Leon, our 3rd Leon from our hand, or having all discarded Leons, 1 in the prize card, and having a Choice Bell attached to one of your Charizard. So 280 is enough to knock out any V-Star, unless they have a tool card attached. So Arceus V-Star with a big charm actually requires you to do 310 damage to knock it out. So 310 means you need your Leon plate from your hand or a Choice Bell, but that's okay. We can at least target their bench Pokemon. If they play Lumineon or Crobat or any other V cards on the bench, we can use Boss Order to kill for extra 2 prize and then deal with the Arceus V-Star later. Once we get the Leon into our hand, we got our Battle Stance to fall back on. This ability actually works really well with the damage boost you get to do with this attack, as we all know. So it's only a matter of time until we get to do the max damage with this attack, unless we have a few prize Leon, in which case we would either have to draw them out from the prize or play a Peonia in this deck. But I don't like Peonia just because you can't actually do much with that 1 supporter card. It's better to draw with your Marnie or to evolve all of your Pokemon faster. So we have a lot of quirky supporter cards to set up our bench to basically get our system going, because all we need to do is evolve as many Charizard as possible to use the ability to basically deck ourselves out until we have very few cards left in the deck, because we want to be discarding as many Leons as fast as possible to do as much damage as we can. And then all we need to do is leave a few cards left in the deck and a lot of cards in our hand so that if they Marnie, they can't deck us out. And a few cards in the deck actually helps us just because we can actually rot them back and then draw out our Charizard, evolve fast as well. We don't have a rare candy in this deck, so we're gonna be forced to evolve stage by stage for our next Charizard once the first few ones gets knocked out. But we actually get to set up to 4 Charizards on the bench to start with our Moonlit Miracle Clefable, doing a fast evolution with our Breeder and a lot of evolution incense as well. So a lot of cards to basically fast evolve our Charizard early on in the game. We also have 1 Bruno and 1 Cynthia to help us draw a big hand if one of our Pokemon gets knocked out on our opponent's last turn. 1 Gloria, 3 Sonias, 2 Quick Ball, 1 Level Ball, 1 Ultra Ball, and 4 VIP Pass to get our basic Pokemons. We got 1 Poke Kit, 2 Pokemon Breeder, and also 4 Incense, plus that 1 Ultra Ball to get our evolution. We got 1 Level Ball for Charmeleon as well, 3 Magma Basin to help us attach energy fast. We got also 1 Cast Form to attack. We can also attack with High Pressure Blast, doing 180 damage with that Choice Belt attached. And you actually need to discard a Stadium card. So if you have no Stadium in play, if your opponent does not play Stadium cards, you're gonna have to force to discard your own Stadium to be able to use this attack. Obviously, don't use this attack until the last minute because you can't actually afford to discard your Magma Basin unless you don't need it anymore. So we also have 1 Rod to help us shuffle back our Pokemon and energy cards. We only are playing 10 copies of energy, so we may not get it. That's why we're playing Sonia in this deck. Instead of 4 Glorias, we have 3 Sonia to help us get the energy or our basic Pokemons out. So that's all for the deck list. Let's go ahead for gameplay. So let's go ahead for our first game. It's actually a tournament. As you can see, there's the cup symbol during the verses. So we got a fairy coin for our Clefable. We got our normal deck box, which isn't actually for we should have gotten a fire deck box, my bad. So I initially made this for, I built a Clefable 𝘿𝑚 deck, but it didn't actually work that well. Clefable to evolve 𝘿𝑚 and Zoroark. So if you guys want to check it out, I haven't actually posted the video, but if you guys want to try it yourself, you can actually do it. So Clefable for Moonlit Miracle, and then basically evolve your bench Zoroark and 𝘿𝑚. Round for 50x damage. You can only do up to 200 damage though. So round does 50x for each round Pokemon you have in play, and if you evolve Zoroark, you can't actually transform until your 𝘿𝑚 gets knocked out. So that means you get to do a consistent 200 damage every single turn by continuously transforming non-stop. So, but you only get to do it until your, you can only use Moonlit Miracle the first time, and then after that you shouldn't be using it anymore, because if you use it too many times, you're actually pausing the turn, giving your opponent the chance to boss order your bench. So it's always better not to do it too many times. So they just Marnied us, which could be a good thing, but we actually got quite a good hand. They are putting a sad face just now, so let's hope they are not setting up that well. But it appears they already got one Inteleon on the next turn. So Quick Shoot on the next turn is going to be quite disruptive. It's going to disturb our flow quite a lot, because we are placing damage counter with Magma Basin as well. So we're going to have to be very careful to use that Stadium card. Sometimes it's better not to use it. But we have no Raihan, no Experience Share, so we may not have a choice though. We're just going to draw here because we don't have an evolution. That means we can't use Moonlit Miracle, we can't use Clefable yet. Let's hope we get to do it the next turn. If we don't have to, sometimes it's better not to do it at all in a single game. If you don't get your Clefable at the right time, we only have 2 copies in the deck. So only 2 copies of Clefairy, Clefable. Sometimes you may not get to use it at all, but it's okay because we have a lot of breeders. We have a lot of ways to evolve all of our Charizards at the same time. By our 3rd turn, get 3 Charizards, 3 stage 2s out with or without Clefable's help. If you play a Clefable, you can actually, get at least 1 Charizard into play on your 2nd turn, passing the turn after, at the end of your 2nd turn, because you're using the attack to pass the turn. Okay, they're playing a Weezing Sableye with Hoopa deck. The super meta, crazy claws attack. We got our Stadium card, we got our Clefable, so now we just need to Moonlit Miracle, hope for enough heads. They're actually placing 4 damage counters already with the poison. So that Charmander is close to dying. We should be evolving that one if we get a heads. Let's charge up the clean Charmeleon. If they boss that one, I don't think they can knock it out that easily, because they're not playing a 𝑂𝐻𝐾𝐫 deck. They're playing a very slow 1 price deck. 90 damage with they can't hit the weakness. So Hoopa you can't apply weakness for your attack if you're playing a Hoopa, and that actually delays your game a lot if you're up against 1 price. I don't think a Weezing Inteleon, a Weezing Sableye deck can't actually win a 1 price that easily. We got only 1 heads, but that's fine. All we need is that 1 Flare Blaze, that 1 Battle Sense to help us draw fast. If we can get a support card on the next turn, that would be better, but if we don't, we can actually attack already. So let's hope we get it. They actually helped us with a Marnie, look at that. We got a really bad hand. We got an energy though. So let's hope Marnie is giving us that. Oh my goodness, it gave us so many of the cards that we need. We got a Charizard, a Leon, and an energy. All we need is 1 Leon discarded. If we play one right now, it's gonna give us 180, but we don't actually need that much damage. We're just gonna need to discard one more to kill the Sableye, unless they play a cape. I don't think they have a cape. They don't really have the space for that many, so we're just gonna retreat right now. We already have enough. We're just gonna Battle Sense until we get to evolve the next 2. I don't think it's wise to use a 2nd time Moonlit Miracle. We're just gonna retreat right now. If you use it too many times, you're giving your opponent a lot of turns, because you may just be unlucky enough to get 3 tails. Sometimes it does happen, so never underestimate the coin flips. Always be very careful whether to flip that coin or not. Especially if you're up against a meta deck, if they, you know, play Inteleon's quick shoot every turn, you can't afford to waste that one turn. They're gonna quick shoot a lot right now, up to 3 times, but I think they're playing the Shady Dealings Inteleon. I don't think they have 3 copies of the Chilling Reign one. If they have like no Shady Dealings Inteleon, I'd be quite surprised. They could quite easily play 4 copies of the quick shoot, but let's see what happens. Are they gonna block our ability again, or are they gonna do 90 damage Assault Gate? Your guess is as good as mine, because they can do Ascension, but if they evolve, they can poison us. So I don't think it's good enough. I think they have to do 90 damage and then snipe at the same time. Unless they got their Sableye already. Sableye, Raihan. They just need Inteleon Sableye, right? So I'm pretty sure they have, you know, the Shady Dealings one, at least 1 copy, because they need to get Raihan, they need to get their Quick Ball or something to get the Sableye onto the bench. Energy Search as well. So they can't go without the Inteleon input, I suppose. Are we gonna play Bird Keeper? I think we're gonna save the Bird Keeper for when they poison us. But they may actually knock us out the next turn because they got their Quick Shoot. So if they knock us out with the poison, then our Bird Keeper would be a waste. Are we gonna use it now, or are we gonna use it later? If we're actually forcing them to use Quick Shoot on the active though, it doesn't really matter which one they do it on, right? It doesn't matter which Pokemon they target with the Inteleon. But if we do Bird Keeper right now, we can't recover from the poison. If we do it later, we might be able to if they don't Quick Shoot enough times. So we're just gonna save the Bird Keeper for later. We may be able to remove the special condition. So now we just need to discard 1 more Leon and then evolve the next 2 Charizard. We got 2 in play, 2 Charmeleons. We got a Cast Form, but the reason I didn't bench that is because they could quite easily Quick Shoot to kill our Cast Form, so always be aware of that. Cast Form is very low HP, only 70 HP. If they Quick Shoot, you're giving them an extra prize, an easy prize. And if you forgot about the Quick Shoot, you may actually do a Magma Basin, giving it, you know, handing them on a silver platter an extra prize card for only having 50 HP left on your Cast Form. They got a Scoop on that and a boss. What are they gonna boss? Okay, they're gonna recycle the Quick Shoot a second time. And they already got the knockout. Severe Poison. They didn't use the boss. I think they used a Marnie. I'm not sure what they used there. Or a Research. Okay, anyways, let's just do our Bird Keeper right now. We're just gonna put that. I don't think we're gonna draw a supporter card. Like, we only have 4 supporter cards for this deck. 4 draw supports. So 1 Bird Keeper, 1 Bruno, 1 Cynthia, and 1 Marnie. Not a lot of draw supports, but just because we are relying on Charizard's Battle Sense, we don't need that many. So we're locked from using the ability again. But that's okay, we're just gonna bench Cast Form right now. I'm gonna think about it though, because are we gonna hand them that extra 1 prize? Do we have a choice though? Because I don't think we need to, because we have the Magma Basin, we have an energy on the bench Charizard. If they don't play Hammers, we can actually charge up the next one while attacking after the first one gets knocked out. So after this Charizard is dead, we can attack with the next one from our hand, attaching an energy, and then Magma Basin, Battle Sense for another energy. We got the energy. Okay, never plan ahead too long though. If you plan too far ahead, it may actually screw you over. So always focus, like, get your head in the game at the right moment. Like, focus on the present moment as much as you can. If you plan too far ahead, sometimes you actually forgot about certain things that you have to take, that you have to consider right now. So they're killing us off with Crazy Claws, giving us extra 2 prize on the next turn. All we need is to discard another Leon. I think we already have 2 copies in the discard pile. But I'm not sure. We're just gonna check right now. 1 Leon, 2 Leon. There we go. We can kill the Sableye right now. And they're giving us... They don't have a choice though. If they could have done Waterfall. They got a Raihan. They could have used Inteleon for Waterfall. Because that's 140, right? Oh, it's not enough though. We have 4 damage counters, so it's actually enough. 140, but not for the next one. Because if we kill the Inteleon with the next Charizard, they're basically screwed, right? They need Inteleon. They can do 120 damage for the next one though, but they need water energy. I don't think they have water type energy. They should be playing Aurora or water type just in case, because Raihan actually helps really well for your Shady dealings to attack as well. So we're just gonna attack, kill off the Sableye right now. All we need is to evolve the last one. So we're gonna Rot and Pokekid to evolve the last one just before they quick shoot kill off the Charmeleon, because Charmeleon is dying. It has 30 HP remaining. If we don't do it now, is the end basically. It doesn't really matter if we shuffle back the energy, but we're just gonna shuffle back the Pokemon. I don't think we're gonna shuffle back the energy. We don't need it, right? We got 2 energies in our hand. It's not necessary. We're gonna shuffle back 1 Charizard. I don't think we need to shuffle back the Charmander, because we don't actually have any more rods in the deck. We have 1 rod in this deck, and we got no rare candy, no candies. That means if we shuffle back the Charmander, it's gonna be basically useless. It doesn't make any sense. But I think I chose to shuffle it back. Oh, we didn't. So we just put back the Charizard, draw it out with our Pokekid, evolve right now to avoid the knockout, and then Magma Basin maybe? I think we have to Basin or bench a cast form. We got a boss order, look at that. For the next turn we got a boss. We're just gonna Basin. I don't think they can knock us out. We have 8 damage counters. We actually did both though. We Basin and bench the cast form. So if they, I think I was afraid of them playing a stadium card. If they play like O Cemetery, we can't actually do Basin, you know, with cast form in the active spot. So we need to Battle Sense for another Basin. So that's why I did it on that turn. We don't really have a choice. If we play a Basin, we have to. We have to bench. So they just conceded. They put well played. So it's basically giving up. Passing the turn, doing nothing, giving us a free our free last prize for the win. So that's all. We actually won a meta Sableye deck. That's really good. That's a big win. Okay, now let's go for the next one versus Dexy Boy. What deck are you playing? Okay. They got an EV deck box. We got 2 Clefairies to start, which is really weird. We only got 2 copies in this deck, but I'm not sure why we're getting like both of them, which is a bit ridiculous. We should be getting at least 1 Charmander, but it always happens, right? If you have 1 Crobat in the deck, they always give you that 1 copy, 1 Kricketune. You always somehow manage to pull it out. Like, it shows how many times we've played this deck, right? It shows that we've played this deck a lot of games. Because if you build a deck early on, the first time you build a deck, the first game that you go for is always like, they always give you the best hand, right? They always give you like the ideal hand that you can work with when you first build the deck. And then as the game progresses, as you play more and more with the same deck, they start matching you up with you know, decks that you're gonna lose against, decks that you have a low chance of winning. They start giving you a bad hand. They start basically messing up your algorithm so that you actually are forced to play a different deck. You're forced to kind of make changes to your deck, find new cards, and basically spend your money on Pokemon, because otherwise they're not going to make any money, right? If you keep playing the same deck and winning with the same combo. Okay, anyways, they're playing Inteleon Rebel Clash with Max Bullet, and they got the League Battle supports. They got Frosmoth, they got Inteleon Shady dealings, they got Quick Shoot as well probably. They just bossed the other Clefairy. Doesn't matter, we got our breeder, that means we can use Moonlit Miracle. This is actually an ideal hand though. We got VIP from the top deck, that means we actually got to bench a lot on the first turn. And now we got our breeder. They didn't use a Marnie, they used a boss, which is actually good. But we actually wasted that one energy on the bench Clefairy though. We can't retrieve that energy unless we retreat and Magma Basin. So we're just gonna evolve. How many hits did we get? I'm not too sure. I think we got only one. Yeah, we got only one. That's sad. Oh well. Sometimes you get 0 hits though. Sometimes, like, it is depressing, but it does happen. It happens a lot for me, but I'm not sure about other people. I don't know why, but I think my coin flip is rigged. I think someone's like, I don't know. I think it's, I've played this game for too long, so they're giving me a very bad chance for my coin flips. But some days though, some days you get nothing but heads. It's very bizarre. Like, this game works very, I have no idea how this game works, to be honest. Sometimes you get a lot of heads, sometimes you get nothing but tails. But more times, I would say the coin flip rate, I would get more tails, like 2 out of 3. 2 times out of 3 I would get a tails for my coin flips overall. But I would say, like, the daily rate really varies. There's no telling. There we go, we got 3 tails in a row. What I tell you, but we don't need it anymore. We got a Charizard in our hand. If they don't use a Marnie, we got our 3rd evolution, stage 2 on the next turn. Okay, they're gonna attack right now. They actually air balloon on the bench though, which is quite weird. I think they're gonna Shady dealing scoop up. Are they gonna scoop up the active? Play the research, so there's no telling what they're gonna play right now. They need a VMAX fast. They need a scoop up net. So I don't think they got nothing. They got nothing with the Shady dealings. What? They got nothing. Are you serious, man? How could you Shady for nothing? I think they have a research in their hand. They could quite possibly have a research and they don't want to waste any trainer cards. There we go, they did max bullet. At least they do it. Right? If they don't do it this turn, it's gonna be like super bad for them. We're not playing any Menifee in this deck, so if you play Kyogre, I don't think we have a high chance of winning. If you're lucky enough with a Kyogre deck, you can actually win against our Charizard. Because we have 0 Menifee in this deck just because I want to be accelerating my evolution, pulling out as many Charizards as fast as possible. And if we have that one copy, it's gonna actually eat up enough space to force us. We don't have the space for anything. We need 1 choice belt. We actually got only 1 choice belt in this deck and 3 Magma Basin. We cannot afford to waste any other cards. So that's why I have no Menifee. So we drew 6 cards, my bad, with Cynthia. And we're gonna get another Charmander or a cast form. We actually have no cast form for this list. So this is the earlier list. We have no cast form. I think we have 2 rods. Or maybe no rods. Like at one point I have no rods. And at another point I had 2 rods. And finally I decided on 1 cast form and 1 rod. Because the reason I have 1 rod is because, you know, if we for some reason have a few cards prized, if we have a few, like 1 Charmeleon or 1 Charizard prized, then we can rod and basically play at least 4 Charizards and then get a cast form. Or at least shuffle back a Charizard so that we get to evolve the next one faster. And then once the first one gets knocked out, obviously. And then basically shuffle back another cast form for an extra attacker. So we have basically only 4 Charizards to attack with, even if we have an extra 1 rod. We need 2 rods to be able to attack with the 5th Charizard. So that's why I only play 1 rod, is because I don't actually think we need a 5th one. We can't even evolve the 5th one that easily, so I don't think there's any point. I think we can get out as much as 3 with Clefable's help to start with. If they boss, we only have we have two remaining to rely on, two attackers, and then we need to evolve the last one, the fourth Charizard, with our own, like from our hand, bit by bit. So that's gonna be a bit of a challenge. The fourth Charizard is gonna be a bit more difficult, and the fifth one is gonna be virtually impossible, I would say. So that's why there's no need for the fifth one, I believe. But if you can collect 2 knockouts with one of your Charizard, you actually have enough time, enough turns to pull off a 5th evolution before your opponent can kill off your other Charizards. So it may be wiser to pull off, to fit in 2 rods in this deck, but I prefer to fit in 1. I don't know why, I just think it's better. And cast form actually helps you attack as well. So we have essentially 5 attackers, possibly 6 if we can shuffle back the cast form with our rod. So ideally, rod for a Charizard cast form, or even your energy cards if you want. We should play Clara, right? Clara could actually help. It's a supporter card though, but yeah, it doesn't really work because you may have to play Leon from your hand to kill a VMAX. So if you have to play Boss and Leon, I don't think you get to play Clara. You can't actually use your supporter cards that easily, unless Cynthia and Bruno as well. It doesn't really fit that well. If you need to play Leon from your hand, you need some way of drawing your cards with anything but a supporter, right? So like a Snorlax, Chinchino, but I prefer to deviate from the meta. So this is a very, very off-meta list. We have Clefable to evolve, Battle Sense for our cards, and nothing else. We have nothing else. We have basically nothing else. Our supporter cards are meant to evolve and set up our bench. So helping Clefable, we have supporter cards that is aiding Clefable to do the fast evolution, the mass evolution. And then later on, we just need to attack non-stop with Royal Blaze, doing 200 plus damage to start, and then more and more and more as the game progresses. So this is a bit tricky now. We need to get our Leon. We actually have a Blunder for this deck, Blunder's Policy. Blunder Policy helps you get draw 3 cards if you get a Tails, if you flip a Tails for any of your attack. So since we are flipping coins with our Miracle, and surprisingly, if I attach a Blunder on Clefable, every time I attach a Blunder, I always get 3 heads. That's the surprising thing about Blunder, is because they don't want you to draw cards. For some reason, they just don't want you to draw cards. If you draw a lot of cards with Blunder though, they can still use a Marnie, because you're passing the turn after drawing. So Marnie with Blunder doesn't really do much, but if you attach the Blunder, for some reason you get a higher rate of flipping heads. So that Blunder is actually helping a lot, to be honest. So this is the earlier list. I actually decided to scrap that tool card because it doesn't really help out too much. If you flip 3 heads, you don't get to draw 3 cards. If you flip 2 heads, you still get to draw 3. So the ideal case if you get 2 heads, 2 evolutions. Drawing 3 doesn't really do much though, because we don't need a lot. If we can draw out evolutions, that would be great. If we can draw out Magma Basin as well, that would be even better. If we have too many Leons in our hand, we can't actually discard it with anything but Quick Ball, Ultra Ball, and we only have a limited amount of copies of those cards. So it's better if we use Battle Sense, if we fall back on that ability, that one ability, stack them, and basically wait for Leon to get discarded. So now they have a benched VMAX, and they're gonna attack with either the VMAX back or just pass the turn. They shouldn't have evolved, right? If they don't evolve, they can kill off our Charizard, and then we have no more Charizards, right? So if they don't evolve into the VMAX, they just need to attack with the second one, hit our weakness, and then they actually win the game. Because we have not enough rods. I don't think we have enough rods in this deck. You never know though, because if we can do, and it's too late though. It's actually too late without cast form, so we have no cast form in this list. If they kill our first Charizard on the last turn, we can't possibly evolve another Charizard by the time the second one gets knocked out. Okay, so now our main concern is to basically draw 3 prize for the win. How are we going to do that? How many Leons do we have discarded? Okay, they just conceded though. Because we can actually do a... If we play Leon from our hand, we can kill the VMAX. If we do boss order now, that would be a waste. I think we should be killing the active. If we kill the Inteleon, the 1 prize Inteleon, we just need to boss later on to collect the 2 prize. But they may evolve though. Yeah, that's the bad thing. So I think if they evolve into the VMAX, then we just need to kill the active, right? If the active is a Inteleon VMAX, then we just need to play Leon, discard a few more from the deck, and then play it from our hand for 330 HP, 330 damage to kill off the VMAX. So let's just focus on this one. I'm talking a lot, sorry guys. So they got a metal type. They're playing a Keldeo deck box. It could mean anything, but it's a Stunfisk, it's a stall. They're buying time with that Stunfisk. Snap Trap, discard an energy each time your opponent attack. Each time it receives damage, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. And Clefable is actually a fairy type, so we are weak against metal. If they flip a few heads, they just need 1 heads actually. 1 heads is enough to kill Clefable with the Stunfisk. But that's not their main attacker. Their main attacker is actually Escavalier. So it's a Brilliant Stars Escavalier deck. Very, very cool. Very, very interesting. They got Altaria for the support to get their supporter cards. They got Snap Trap to basically stall, buy themselves extra time. An additional attacker, fast attacker, 2 energies. They got 1 heads. And they even got Aegislash. Aegislash to reduce damage done by your opponent's active Pokemon by 30. So reduction, they got Pot Helmet to reduce 30 damage. They got Aegislash to reduce 30 more. And they got Miraculous Armor to reduce 100 damage if your, if Escavalier receives damage done by your opponent's V cards. So if your opponent attacks Escavalier with a V Pokemon, if you're attacking with a V Pokemon, Escavalier receives 100 less damage with the Miraculous Armor ability. Okay, we got to do Moonlit Miracle again. Are we gonna play Leon? We should have played Leon from our hand, but I don't think we should though. We got 3 tails again. That's super unlucky. Yeah, if you want a lot of heads, play that tool card, attach your blunder. You're gonna get a lot of heads that way. Trust me, like, trust me. It works every time though. Every time I have a blunder policy attached, I get so many heads. So many heads. It's like they don't want you to draw any cards. It's very rare to get 2 heads if you have a blunder policy, because that way you get to do the max amount of evolution plus draw 3 cards. Not the max, but a little bit under, but you get to draw 3 cards as well. I played Blunder with my Slurpuff. If you guys want to check it out, it's in my channel. So Slurpuff actually helps you draw, flip 3 coins, and for each heads, you get to search your discard pile for any card, put it back into your hand, and then, you get to draw 3 cards if you flip a Tails with the attack with your Blunder policy. So Slurpuff gets to retrieve cards from the discard pile, and you get to draw 3 cards as well. I use that effect for my Indeedee Handkinesis to help us draw extra cards from not only the deck with Blunder policy, but also to retrieve cards, increasing the number of cards in our hand by doing a discard pile search, by drawing cards from the discard pile. Okay, we're gonna do Moonlit Miracle a second time. Fingers crossed for 2 heads now. We got 3 tails on the last turn, only 1 heads, but that's fine. We at least got to do a Charizard for Battle Sense later. So they didn't flip a heads at all. That means they only did 60 damage. So 30 multiplied by 2. It's not enough to kill the Clefable with 1 hit. Fortunately, we get to survive and flip a coin second time. Flip 3 coins a second time. Sorry guys, I'm stuttering a bit. Today's not a good day for me. So here comes the Escavalier with the Twin Energy. They can attack with it right now, I'm pretty sure. So they're gonna bench the Kartana. Not Kartana. What's this sword called again? I forgot the sword's name. Aegislash. What's it called again? Okay, I totally forgot the name, but it's the tiny little sword, the blade thingy, is on a bench now, and they can. Oh, it's called a Zenith. I don't know. Anyways, they killed off the Clefable, so now we get to attack with Charizard if we get an energy. We're gonna Ultra Ball for another Charizard so that we get to secure that one energy from the top deck. From the top 6 cards of the deck, we're probably gonna get one, or at least a supporter card to draw something. If we get a Bird Keeper, I'm gonna be quite depressed. We're gonna get the Magma Basin. We should be getting the Breeder if we want to do fast evolution, but I think Basin is gonna help us a bit more. Okay, we did the Breeder, because that actually compresses the deck. It helps us compress the deck before the second Battle Sense. So that means we have 2 less Pokemons inside the deck, and that raises the chances of us getting an energy from the top 3. We're more likely to get an energy from the top 3 cards with our Battle Sense now. It's no energy, but we got Cynthia. We get to play Cynthia. Oh, we played our Breeder. That means we can't attack this turn. Oh, that's bad. We played our Breeder. Oh no. We should have gotten an Incense or a Basin then. That was a big mistake, because if we played our Cynthia, we could have drawn 8 cards. Can you imagine? 8 cards. Okay, Escavalier can finally attack. They got Crystal Cave to heal as well. This is definitely a very good deck. It's very interesting. If your opponent plays V cards, I don't think they stand a good chance. Because even though it's only doing 90 damage, I actually wanted to build Escavalier with Berserker. Because Metal, it actually gets to do 20 extra damage for each Berserker you have in play. Steely Spirit, 90 plus 20, and then you get to do 20 more for another Berserker. But Pot Helmet, I actually wanted to play Pot Helmet with my Escavalier, but I never thought of Crystal Cave and Aegislash, because that's actually quite smart. Crystal Cave to heal, even though you're healing only 30 damage, you're actually buffing. The wall is very big though. The damage reduction is so huge. You're reducing 160 damage. Your opponent does 160 less damage with their V cards. If they play an Arceus, they're only doing 40 damage with Trinity Nova if they don't have a double turbo. So Trinity Nova does 40 damage to your Escavalier after the full damage reduction, and then you get to heal back the 30 with your Crystal Cave. Lucky Ice Pop, you get to do a lot with a single 1 prize card. You get to survive forever, right? Unless they do a boss. If they boss kill your support Pokemons, you can't actually do much. So it's always better to have nothing but your Escavalier in play. But if you have nothing but that card, you're only doing, you're only reducing up to 130 with Pot Helmet. And you need your Raihan experience share. I don't think experience share works though unless you play Shopping Mall, Shopping Center or something. So it's definitely a challenge, isn't it? This card is so difficult to pull off. But it appears they found like the perfect synergy. Stage 2 though, it's not that easy to pull it off. The Stage 2 Aegislash with your Stage 1 attacker. You need to get your tool card and your special energy as well. Your coating energy against fighting type. Your twin energy for your 3 energy attack cost. So it's not that easy. For only 90 damage, right? If you have a Manaphy, they can't hit your bench as well. So 90 plus 30 to one of your opponent's bench. Okay, they got a Milotic. I'm not sure why they have a Phoebus. Like, why would they need that? Oh, Milotic actually blocks from Avery. So Avery forces you to discard your bench, right? So they need Milotic to protect their bench from Avery. If they play Collapse Stadium, you just need to discard your Oranguru. I don't think... Oh, Oranguru Altaria though. They need everything. They need everything. Oranguru, Altaria, and Aegislash, Milotic, and another bench Escavalier. If they play Collapse Stadium, you're done. So Milotic doesn't prevent from everything though. It only prevents from supporter cards and item, I think. Supporter. Effects of your opponent's supporter card done to the player, right? Let's get an energy with Battle Sense. We're gonna Magma Basin, boss. We're gonna kill off the Aegislash. We actually get to. We're actually doing 60 less damage, and we're not hitting the weakness because of the coding energy. So we're only doing 140 base damage, which is exactly enough to kill the Aegislash. I did not actually realize that, because we have exactly 2 copies of Leon discarded. That's a total of 200 damage with Royal Blaze. 200 minus 60 is just right to kill off the Aegislash. Because they have a bloody pot helmet on the Aegislash. Isn't that annoying? But we did it though. Thank God. Charizard is a beast. Okay, we're gonna do our Poke Kit for another Charizard and then go off from there. If they don't kill this one, they're so done. 90 is not enough though. They need 120 damage. I think they're gonna kill off the other Charmeleon. So that Charmeleon is dead. They actually got 3 prize remaining though. Oh my goodness, this is quite scary. Yeah, I think we may actually need a Menifee for this deck. Because if they play Urshifu, I don't think we can win that easily as well. Urshifu, they need 2 strikes though. 2 strikes to kill 2 Pokemon is not really that good, is it? Unless they do Inteleon Quick Shoot. If they Quick Shoot at the same time and force us to use a Magma Basin, then we can't actually do much. I think Heat Energy is going to help us a lot. I actually recommend playing like 1 or 2 copies of Heat Energy now. They actually targeted the other Charmeleon though, so we get to evolve the second one. We get to evolve a second time to prevent an extra knockout. Let's do it. I'm pretty sure we have another one inside the deck. There we go. We actually got 2 copies of Rare Candy for this list. So this is a very different list. We have 2 Rods and 2 Rare Candies. 2 Blunder Policy, not as many supporter cards, and not as many basic summons. No Gloria. I don't think we have any Sonia as well. No Gloria, no Breeder, no Sonia, no Incense. Well, obviously we have Incense, but not that many. And we have no, not that many Quick Ball, Ultra Ball, Level Ball either. So the setup is very slow, but to trade that off, we actually have more cards to evolve with. Rare Candies and Blunder Policy to draw more cards. Yada yada yada. And now we got 3 prize remaining. They definitely should have targeted the other Charmeleon. I don't know what they were thinking. They got an extra prize, but they just passed that one, allowing us to evolve the other Charizard. Now they need so much more damage to kill the other one. Skyla. What are they gonna get with the Skyla? They played 4 Metal Saucer. Look at that. They got Metal Saucer and they played 4. They conceded, so we won against Escavalier. I don't think there's a big surprise there because we are playing a Fire type, but they got Coding Energy though. You never know. Miraculous Armor doesn't work against a 1 price. The ability only works against V cards, so if they should be matching up against V Pokemons, V Star, VMAX, I think that actually shows the highest potential for that card. Escavalier Brilliant Stars. So it wasn't a good matchup for them. We are playing a fire type, we're playing Charizard, doing so much damage. It doesn't really fit well. We actually got lucky fighting against an Escavalier, to be honest. So not really a big win right there. But a win nonetheless, right? A win against a new Brilliant Stars deck. One price budget deck. Budget deck is not really too bad though. If you're smart enough, you can actually make a budget deck work. You can win against a full-on meta deck as well. This is quite a budget deck as well because we have nothing but Charizard from the theme expansion. From the theme deck. That means you can actually spend your coins on the shop to get your 4 copies of Charizard. You just need to spend 1,000 coins to get 2 Charizards, 2 Leons, 4 Leons, my bad. And then you're good to go. You just need to spend a few more coins for extra packs to buy some packs to get your Clefable, unlock your Clefable. And that's not a lot though. You don't need much because Clefable is, I think, uncommon card. Is not even rare. So it's very easy to unlock it. They're playing a double Coalossal. Coalossal plus Coalossal. Look at that. Tower generator with their I forgot the attack. Coalossal from Vivid Voltage. It's so old and I forgot the attack of the VMAX. So we're gonna evolve our Clefable, flip our coins. We have to play Cynthia to get the energy card out for Moonlit Miracle. We got no energies. So we are only playing 9 copies in this deck. This list actually have only 9 copies of energy. That's why I decided to add 1 more copy for the final list. And Sonia to get the energy cards out. Because oftentimes if you play only 9 copies, you won't get it that easily. Unless you're playing like a Zigzagoon or something. Like a, stage 2, 1 energy attacker. If you want it early, it's not going to show up that easily. If you need it later on in the game, it's going to be much easier, right? Especially if you're playing PRs to get the energy. So we have no basic energy search. We have no way of getting our energy cards from the deck other than with our draw supports. Cynthia, Birdkeeper, Marnie, Research. I think we have a Research for this list. Bruno as well. Battle Sense. And passing the turn is actually giving them a knockout. If they get to discard if they have a energy card at the top deck, they can't do a knockout right now, so I'm quite scared. Please don't get an energy. We haven't used our Moonlit Miracle. We already evolved. They didn't get the energy, thank God. We get to survive 1 turn, and we got the energy at long last. We got our Charizard. That means if we haven't got the energy from the top deck, we can still do our Battle Sense. We're going to discard Gloria and Leon for a 2nd evolution. And then we're going to do Moonlit Miracle for double evolution. I don't think we're going to be that lucky to get 3 heads. So that's the reason I evolved the Charmeleon. Not only that is if you do a Charmeleon evolution right now, you can actually pass the turn, bringing out a stage 2, doing a basically rare candy evolution, passing the turn. So Moonlit Miracle plus a Charmeleon evolution is equals stage 2 evolution, passing the turn. So we got a Charmander, we get to bench that as well. Let's hope we get 3 heads now. 1 heads, 2 heads, 3 heads, come on. Oh man, we got a Tails, oh well. I don't think we have a Blunder for this deck. Double evolution, look at that. Yeah. 2 Charizards, 1 Charmeleon, and a Charmander. Moonlit Miracle. Skyla, I think they played a Skyla just now, and now they're doing another Skyla. Skyla for rare candy, I suppose, because they're playing the stage 2 Coalossal. Okay, they got Roly-Poly at last. Are they gonna play Crobat right now? They got quite unlucky though. They got nothing but Skyla twice in a row. And they discarded the boss. Didn't even do a knockout. But they're gonna do a knockout the next turn, so we better be killing off the Coalossal right now. They got no stone energy, fortunately. So if we can kill it, we should be doing it. But I don't think it's possible. Because we need to discard all 4 Leons, play one from our hand this turn, or get a choice belt. And we didn't, yep, we're not intending on playing that. So we chose not to play Leon from the hand. That means we're not doing a knockout this turn. We have no choice belt for this list. We have it for the final one. Final version, but this is not the final version. Because we got more Glorias in this deck. No Sonia, more Gloria, and not as much energy cards. Okay, we're gonna Magma Base into that one. Retreat. And then let's see how much we get to do. I think it's 250 at least. Yeah, pretty sure it's 250. There we go. 250 damage for the first Charizard. And they haven't collected a single prize. So I think they're off with a bad start. A super bad start. They may just play a Cheryl right now. No Cheryl though. Bay. Only 1 energy. I mean, it's not really that good a combo, is it? Bay with Bea with the stage 2 Coalossal. It doesn't really make much sense. Does it? I think Bay works best if you're playing a basic Pokemon. If you have nothing but basic Pokemons, you get to set up fast and then basically use that for something like Phalanx V. If you play any stage 2 or stage 1, Bay is not going to get you energy cards, right? Unless you want to be compressing your deck and get 1 or 2 energy cards out. So stage 1, not bad, I suppose. Stage 2 is impossible. I don't think you get to use that supporter for stage 2. Royal Blaze the second time. We have to do Battle Sense. Always check your deck though. Don't make sure you don't deck out. We got 6 cards left, that's fine. If you have very few cards left in your hand, don't use a Battle Sense because that's gonna give them the win. If they pull out their Marnie, if they do a Marnie, they can actually put cards back. They can force you to draw the remaining cards from your deck, and then pausing the turn you would have died by having no cards left. So make sure you're aware of that. Be prepared for Marnie if you have very few cards left, both inside your deck and in your hand. If you have a total of 4 cards left, then, for example, if you have 1 card in your hand and 3 cards in your deck, they can actually use a Marnie for the win. So make sure you don't Ultra Ball at the wrong time. If you do it at the wrong moment, if you Ultra Ball, Quick Ball, discard too many things from your hand at the last minute, leaving nothing but 1 card left, they can win the game with a Marnie. Okay, we're gonna boss order here, kill off the Stonjourner before they evolve, because that actually gives us 2 prize, and then we just need 1 last one for the win. So if we boss right now, we can kill off, make it easier for ourselves, make our life easier. We don't need the last Leon for a VMAX knockout. We don't need to worry about more stone energies being in play, being brought out into play. I'm not articulating too well today, sorry guys. A lot of Glorias, look at that. Gloria. Gloria helps you bring 3 Pokemons though. Bench 3 Pokemons. This is not too different from the final list actually, except we have more, we're replacing Gloria for Sonia, a couple copies, and we have Breeder, 1 choice belt. I think that's it. I don't think we have anything else. Castform, 1 Castform. So we killed the V card. Now we just need to kill anything else. Like if they bench something, they can't possibly bench a VMAX, right? So if they don't bring out a V Union this turn, they're done. And it's not possible to get a V Union because we can kill anything. We can kill anything with Charizard. 250 is enough to kill anything. We got a Leon in our hand as well, so we get to do 330 passing the turn. 330 unless they do a Marnie. We're gonna do it. We're gonna pull off 330 damage for our Leon. You have a good deck as well. We're gonna attach our energy. Bruno. We actually did a Bruno. That was quite stupid. Oh well. I think I was trying to show off that, you know, I could actually replenish my deck. So I have a lot more turns left. I don't know what that play was meant to do. So we're up against a tournament person again. You're fighting a tournament battle for this one. More dragons. He's playing a Kyogre Volcarona deck. Cryogonal Kyogre. So we actually are up against a Kyogre without Menifee. Let's see how well this deck does. Kyogre without Menifee. Can we win against Kyogre? They got Volcarona to start with, so they're giving us a big head start right there. We got Sonia. We're gonna play Moonlit Miracle for this game. Let's get one of each, and then we need to be getting energy cards though. So I'm not sure whether to bench basics or get the energy. I think we have Cynthia for the energy. If we bench something, we can evolve and draw more cards with Cynthia. So let's do that. I don't think we need our Clefable anymore. Are we gonna pull off Clefable? Because we can't even get as much Charmanders. I think we actually did we actually got the energy cards. Surprise, surprise. I was trying to kill the Volcarona because we have a choice belt. Are we able to kill it off? We just need one Leon, right? If we discard a Leon, we can do 180. Because they're not playing Marnies. I don't think a Kyogre deck has a Marnie. They need Boss Order. They actually need Boss Order now that Menifee is out. Okay, Battle Sense on the next turn. They need another Fire Energy, and I don't think they have that many. They're probably gonna retreat the next turn because they need another Fire to pull off the second attack. So fingers crossed we get to discard a Leon this turn. We're just gonna Cynthia, which I'm not sure if is the best move. Okay, we got no Leon discarded. That's fine. We're just gonna get Level Ball. We have no choice. We're gonna bench another Charmander. VIP Pass showed up too late. Fire Blaze. Not quite enough. 30 HP remaining. It's not enough to kill us though. 160, if they did the second attack, it's not gonna be enough. So they might as well do an Element Chain right now. And Surf later to collect the knockout. They need to either kill off our bench Pokemon with Aqua Storm or kill off the active with Surf. I think they're probably gonna target the active because it's charged up and ready to go. It's like more threatening than the bench because our bench is gonna take a while before we get to evolve to stage 2, right? For our bench Pokemons. So we actually can't do our breeder this turn because we actually did an evolution. You can't evolve the Pokemons that you put into play on the same turn with your Pokemon breeders nurturing. We're just gonna get a Sonia for extra bench Pokemons. Because if they Aqua Storm, we're actually baiting them to do an Aqua Storm so that we get to attack more times with the active Charizard. Because they can't do Surf that easily. They need to keep using Cryogonal for the Surf because they got not enough energies for the next Kyogre. Unless if they by some miracle plays Experience Share, Raihan. I actually did have Experience Share Raihan for my Kyogre deck when I first built it. Nobody uses it, but I think it's actually quite good. if you're lucky enough to draw it out, 𝘿𝐻�10 actually gets you an extra energy. You can do Aqua Storm more times without doing a second element chain. You can do, you know, experience share for your third Kyogre to basically Aqua Storm without break. 3 strikes in a row, and that's enough for the win. Because you just need like 6 knockouts, right? 6 knockouts on the bench. If they don't play VMAXs, if you hit the VMAX twice, with Aqua Storm is enough to kill it as well. So no mana fee means Kyogre just needs to strike as many times as possible. Without break though, because if you break even for 1 turn, it's enough for your opponent to boss order. If they boss your Kyogre before you get to do it, then Element Chain is not going to do much, right? So Experience Share, 𝘿𝐻�10 is definitely a good combo for your Kyogre. Even with Cryogonal's massive acceleration, energy acceleration, they can still do a boss and reset your energy cards. So if you don't get 5 energies with your Element Chain, you're done. You need to do it every turn though. And we got Pokemon Catcher, Leafeon V-Star now. Cross Switcher, my bad. Okay, we get to do our breeder, finally. We're gonna hope for... Oh, we actually did shuffle back our Charizard. So that means we get to breeder much easier. We are guaranteed a stage 2 now. We got 3 more. I don't know what I'm worried about. But it's better to do it now just in case they Marnie us. You never know, they could pull off a Marnie. There we go, we had actually all 4 copies inside the deck. We're gonna Battle Sense and then hope to kill off the Kyogre this turn. Deal with the next one later. We got the energy. We have no choice but to draw it out. If we do a Marnie, we can't do a Marnie because we already did our supporter card, Pokemon Breeder. We have no choice but to attack with the active. Attack with our bench Charizard. So Clefable is not doing anything for this game. Clefable is totally sitting on a bench, sitting in our hand doing nothing. We just benched it though. I think we were baiting them to hit the Clefable rather than the Charmeleon, but I mean, of course they're gonna kill our fire types, right? So they can't do anything but Aqua Storm. If they get the fire energy, we're done. If they don't get the fire energy, we get to boss the Volcarona, get 2 extra prize the next turn. So it's anyone's game at this moment. At this point, anyone can win. It's a matter of a coin flip. Are you lucky enough to draw your fire energy? Do you have enough fire energies left in your deck for you to draw it into your hand? Are you gonna prize card A? Are you gonna get a fire from the prize or something? If they don't do Volcarona, they're basically screwed, right? They need either they need to do Volcarona or a Cryogonal. If they do Element Chain on the next turn, I think there's still hope. So let's do a boss. Let's get a boss out. If they skip the turn, oh, we can actually kill the Volcarona right now. But we have no choice but to kill the Kyogre. If we knock out the Volcarona this turn, they're gonna surf to kill us. And that's actually, it's impossible to avoid the surf. Whereas with Volcarona, if they don't top deck, if they don't get fire energy in their hand, they got so many cards though, but they're playing water, you know, mainly water type Pokemon is in their deck. So I don't think it's that easy to get the fire energy. Just because Kyogre needs 2 water energies. They got no fire, look at that. We get to kill the Volcarona and that's it. Because they can't charge up the Kyogre without Element Chain. We got 3 prize remaining. We get to kill off the Volcarona and then we just need 1 more knockout. A final knockout is all we need. We're forced to discard the Charizard, but we got another one inside the deck. I'm pretty sure. We're just gonna charge up the Charmander and then evolve the next turn. I'm not sure if we have any more Charizards. But we don't need it anymore. We don't need anything. We already win. There's no chance in hell they're gonna do a Aqua Storm this turn. If they do Aqua Storm, they still can't win. They need to do a Surf. They have no choice but to do a Surf. So Raihan Energy Switch is not even enough because Surf needs 4 energies. So Raihan Energy Switch and double Turbo though. Because 100 damage is enough to kill us. They just need 200 damage kills off the Charizard. Well played. Yep, it's over. It's so over. We even get to do boss to kill the Kyogre. Look at that. So we won Kyogre without a Menifee. Look at that. A stage 2 1 Kyogre Aqua Storm, totally broken deck. Used to be so broken. Now it is useless. It is essentially outdated with the new Menifee Water Veil. Even without it, we won. Look at that. It was quite lucky of us for them to get Volcarona though. If they start off with a Cryogonal, I don't think it would be that easy. If they got more Kyogres to start with, if they element chain faster, then we can't actually win that. We got a bad hand as well though. We got quite a bad start. But I think it's actually the ideal start against a Kyogre because we evolved our active fast rather than having a big bench, because having a lot of Pokemon setting up fast is not good against Kyogre because it actually gives them extra prizes to hit, extra targets to hit on the bench. So we don't want to be benching that many if we're up against Kyogre. So now we're up against an electric box. They got Fluffy and Electabuzz, Electivire, the new Brilliant Stars, high voltage current Electivire. I think they're gonna try to spread damage with that attack. 50 damage to each of our opponent's Pokemon for 3 energies, 2 lightning and 1 colorless. High voltage current, not too bad. They actually have the other Fluffy. Look at that. That's weird. Why are they not playing the Evolving Skies one? Are they really that rebellious? I mean, it makes no sense though. You need to play this ability. I think they're playing the stage 2 Ampharis. If they have this Fluffy, that means they are definitely gonna play the Ampharis. So we should have anticipated that, but we did not. We ignored the weird ass Fluffy without the Dynamotor. We got 1 heads, but that's fine. We got a Charizard in play. We got Battle Sands for the next turn. Marnie as well. Okay, here comes Ampharis. Which Ampharis though? Probably the low energy attacker. 2 energy for 90 damage, plus 90 more if your opponent has an energy card in their hand. So Ampharis is actually quite good. Okay, Searchlight Tail. It did 180 damage because we have an energy. Sadly. We're gonna do Basin and kill off the Ampharis this turn. If they somehow evolve and attack again with the same Ampharis, with another Ampharis on the bench, then we're basically screwed because 180 is enough to kill off our active Charizard and we have no energies on the bench. We need to be getting a Cast Form and evolve into the Charizard before the next turn. Into a Charmeleon, my bad. And then basically retreat after the Basin. Okay, we did a Marnie. We're gonna incense for a Charmeleon and then evolve that one. Royal Blaze. Bam. Oh my goodness, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. 160. Yikes. So they get to do a Charizard knockout now. They played a Marnie though. Wow. Look at that. We got an energy card in our hand. But it was so lucky that we didn't. Let's hope we get no energy cards now. There we go. Oh, we get to survive. Thank God. So that means they get to attack with Searchlight Tail a second time. Possibly doing the knockout against a stage 2. That's madness. Stage 2 versus stage 2, and we almost lost. Charizard almost lost. The active almost lost against our opponent's active. But we won it last minute thanks to Marnie. Stage 2 face off. Okay, we're gonna do Quick Ball and then Incense for a second Charizard. We're gonna get our Cuss form. Okay, Basin on. Oh, we decided to do the Charizard. Basin on the Charizard. Battle Sense. Let's get the energy card. Battle Sense a second time for our Charizard. We have no choice but to discard our Cynthia, sadly, and Battle Sense a third time. After the level ball, we're gonna get Cuss form out. Sense again. Oopsie. Get the Breeder. So Breeder is a bit tricky because you can't evolve after doing. We actually got our Leon. Oh, that was a Cuss form. We actually have 2 Cuss forms in this deck. I thought it was a. I thought we had a Charmander on our hand. Okay, Toxtricity, Poison Shout, 20 damage. 10 more with Poison. It's still not enough to kill the active though. That's quite sad, isn't it? So the active stays alive, passing the turn. We have to retreat the next turn though. I mean, Battle Sense, is it gonna get us a Bird Keeper? Let's hope. Poison Shout. Okay, we got 30 HP remaining. So that means passing the turn on the next one. After passing the next turn, we are dead. Charizard is dead. So we're gonna have to retreat before then. With either a Bird Keeper or 3 energy discard. I don't think we're gonna discard 3 energies. It's too wasteful. So let's Magma Basin on the bench. Let's not do any more Basins. If we do any more Basins, we're gonna damage ourselves too many times. And if they do High Voltage Current, they got their Electivire evolved. If they do that Voltage Current, they can do 50 damage, knocking out multiple Pokemons at the same time, drawing multiple prizes. So we did 200 damage killing the Toxtricity for 1 prize. Second prize. Okay, here comes High Voltage Current. Experience share. Pretty cool, eh? First time I ever see someone playing this attack. Using the second attack for Electivire. Manaphy, again, one word, Manaphy. Totally destroys your Electivire's attack strategy. And they killed Cuss form, damaged heavily the other Pokemons. So now we are forced to attack with the other Charizard. Okay. We got Boltund in this deck as well. Sonia's Boltund from VMAX Climax. Okay, we're gonna do Battle Sense, get the boss order. We should be bossing the Boltund. I don't think so. We had to kill off the active right now. If we don't, they're gonna high voltage card in a second time. We can't afford for them to spread damage a second time. They're gonna kill off so many Pokemons. So Electivire is actually quite strong. 50x. Can you imagine if they bench a lot? If they have no mana fees on the bench, if they have 5 bench Pokemon, you get to do 250 damage. A total of 250 damage for one stage 1 Pokemon. Stage 1 1 price attacker. 3 energies though. You need so many energies for it to work. All lightning, you can fill it up with all lightning, so it doesn't really matter. Amazing Rare is a bit more difficult because you need all the different types of energies on a single Pokemon, which is quite an amazing feat. So we're just gonna kill off the Fluffy right now. Get an extra prize. We're down to two more prize cards for the win. You need to draw 3 more. We got 3 attackers, so I think we're good. We need to kill the Boltund VMAX though. If we boss it right now, they may play a Cheryl. So I think our best bet is to kill the VMAX with 1 hit. Let's just kill off the active right now. And then play Leon at the last minute because we actually discarded 3 Leons already. So this is the last Leon in our hand. If we play the Leon this turn, we don't need a choice belt. We can't kill off the VMAX unless they big charm. So if they attach a big charm, it's going to be a bit more difficult to knock out the VMAX. But we just need 2 hits though. We got our Bruno to shuffle back Pokemon, to replenish our deck, to buy us a few more turns to do a 2-hit knockout. We got our Rod as well to shuffle back cards into the deck. So it's a done deal actually. We already won. We should have done... We actually got greedy and got a Sonia for another evolution. We can evolve another Charizard. Look at that. We got an extra attacker. But we definitely should have played Leon, because we could have done a 1-hit knockout right here. I chose not to for some reason. I think I forgot about... Yeah, I got greedy with the Sonia definitely. I wanted to play the Rod, but I should have done Rod and then Leon. Ultra Ball for a Charmander, because we have an Incense in our hand. We have a Charmeleon as well. If they play a Marnie though, everything is all the way back. Everything is back into the deck and we have to somehow Battle Sense for more cards. So we play Leon, 180 damage with High Pressure Blast. Quite interesting. Yeah, you have a good deck as well. They're playing Electric Box, quite interesting with Fluffy and Ferris. They definitely should have added, Evolving Skies Fluffy for Dynamotor. That is definitely an essential for any electric deck. But I suppose they were trying to deviate from the meta, right? You never know if that other Fluffy is better, because if your opponent plays a Flapple, they actually hit less damage. 50x for each Pokemon your opponent has with abilities, right? So if you don't have that many Pokemons with abilities, they can't use the Flapple that easily. I think that's the only thing I can think of that, playing that Fluffy is the advantage of playing the other Fluffy. So now we're up against a water deck. They have a water coin, water deck sleeve as well. Water, water, water. Could be an ice type. So they are separating the types for this set. I'm wondering if Scarlet and Violet is going to introduce a new type. For the TCG, I definitely think there should be, some kind of shift for the typings for the next set. Since they already shifted Fairy type, there's no more Fairy energy, no more Fairy, Fairy Pokemons or trainer cards. Fairy is now the Psychic type and Ghost type is the same, but Poison is now Darkness. Darkness and Poison is the same symbol now. I think that's the only change. I don't think there's anything else. Water type is now weak towards Lightning, period. There's no more Grass weakness for water types. So water type is no longer weak towards grass Pokemon, just because dark type Pokemon is now, you know, reversed. The weakness is now bug type instead of the usual fighting type. We have now our darkness weak towards bug types. Poison is still weak towards fighting though. Poison used to be weak against psychic type, right? Psychic is weak against ghost type. Ghost type is weak against ghost type itself. And then poison is weak against psychic. So basically, if you have the psychic symbol, it actually works really well though. The old system works really well. Because if you have a psychic symbol, you're weak towards yourself, period. Like poison weak towards psychic. I suppose that's why they are bunching it up into one, you know, one energy symbol. Psychic weak towards ghost type weak towards itself. It really works. Like there's really a system, and they just broke it by fitting a fairy type in there. Now we have a psychic symbol weak towards metal type, and psychic is now weak towards dark type, dark Pokemon instead of ghost type. So I wonder what they're gonna change for the next set, for the next generation set. Scarlet and Violet. This Gloria actually looks really nice. I love her clothes. Like, it looks so comfortable. So, you know, airy, and it just looks really lovely. And she has a nice beret as well. Like a puffy white stuff on the beret. Okay, they are playing a Frosmoth. Apparently, they got a late start with their Inteleon. They are playing Inteleon VMAX for this deck as well. So Frosmoth Zigzagoon with Inteleon. We got one Charizard, no Clefable. Unfortunately, we are not able to evolve our Clefable yet. So let's hope Battle Sense gets us at least a breeder or a draw support. We got an Incense that we got the Clefable. We should be getting the Clefable. And then evolve at least 2 Pokemons on the bench. Let's hope. I think we actually evolved a second Clefable, which was a big mistake. We should have definitely done a Charmeleon and a Charizard. We got a Charizard in our hand though, so I'm not sure if we need to. Yep, we got 2 heads, and we actually chose... Oh, we didn't choose the Clefairy, my bad. I was pretty sure we chose the Clefairy. I mixed up my memories, sorry guys. So we got 2 Charizards in play, another one in our hand. If they pass a turn not doing a Marnie, we got our 3rd Charizard in play next on our next turn. I don't think there's any other word for turn. Kind of searching the dictionary. I'm not searching the dictionary, just searching my mind. So they got no bench V cards yet. They better be benching something right now. They could actually pull off a Crabominable at the last second. But we're not playing any heavy Pokemons. Heavy price attackers. Single price all everywhere. So I don't think they can do a last minute knockout like a Sableye or Crabominable. Crabominable needs Melanie and experience share. If they don't get enough energies on Crabominable fast enough, I don't think it's possible to do like 3 energy attachment in a single turn, right? Unless you get an experience share. So they definitely need an early attacker before doing an experience share on the Crabominable, or like Inteleon Shady dealing support for your Melanie. Something to get the energy cards, because 3 energies is a lot. Even for water type, it's still a lot. They got Frosmoth, my bad. My bad, they got Frosmoth, so they can actually do Capacious Bucket for the attack cost. Oopsie. Silly me. Frosmoth solves the problem for anything. Your wishy-washy energy cost. You need 3 energies to boost the HP. Solves the energy cost for Inteleon. But it only works for your bench water type though. It's still pretty... It's quite confined still, if you ask me. I don't quite like it. I'm actually eyeing for a Bird Keeper, but I don't think we have it. I think we already discarded it. I'm not sure. So we can't attack this turn, sadly. Because they just boss stall. We could have done it though if we searched for a bird keeper, but I decided not to, apparently. So I don't think Rod is gonna help us, is it? We got a Charizard in our hand, so we can actually Rod the basic and the stage 1 after the first one gets knocked out. And that gives us a 4th Charizard. I'm pretty sure we have 2 more Pokemons inside the deck though, or in the prize card. But if they show up too late, it's not gonna do anything. So for the last Charizard, I suppose that's why we have 1 Rod in this deck. This list actually has 2 copies though. So for this game, we had 2 copies of the Rod, just because it's the earliest version of the list. So I eventually decided upon cutting down to 1 copy of the Rod, just because I think 4 copies of Charizard is enough. 4 Charizards in the game is more than enough, I would say. If you need an additional attacker, we got Custform, 180 damage against a V card, not bad. 2 strikes to kill a VMAX if they don't play a Sharon or a Cheryl. Cheryl, they are both Sherries, aren't they? The name starts with Cher. And they both heal. Sharon is kind of like heal because it scoops up and you get to retrieve all of your attached cards as well. So tool cards, energy, special energy, you get to retrieve them, scoop up everything. Scoop up your normal type Pokemon and all attached cards back into your hand. But you don't get to do anything else. Same as your Cheryl, heal and don't get to do anything else. Because it's already overpowered as it is, kind of like boss order. If you get to draw cards in addition to those effects, it would be pretty broken. It would be way too broken. So let's get another energy cards. We can't afford to discard too many energies, but I think we may get a Bruno here. We got our Rod to recycle the energy, so I don't think we need to be bothered too much. Now we're gonna get the energy because we don't need a Gloria. We may need the Quick Ball though, to discard our Leon or to summon another basic once the first Charizard gets killed. So we're gonna incense for something just to remove some cards, or maybe look through our deck. We got a Bird Keeper inside, so we could definitely attack right now. Let's do it. Clefable, only 1 energy retreat cost. And we decided not to. Look at that. I think we were waiting for our boss. I think we were definitely waiting for our boss. I mean, we decided to pass the turn, which is a big mistake, to be honest. Because we are giving them extra turns to find the boss order to kill off one of our Charizard. We don't have that many to spare. So if we kill a Frosmoth this turn, we can just target the VMAX with our second Charizard. And then for the third one, kill the Crobat for the last 2 prize. So we should have just sacrificed 1, kill off the Frosmoth this turn. They did a research though, so no boss. If we pause the turn again, not doing a knockout, that would be quite silly. So we have to kill something. I don't think we're that stupid to pause the turn a second time. Giving them extra, you know, extra luxury to get their boss order out. Okay, another Inteleon. They got a late start though, so I suppose we're trying to even out the game by passing the turn doing nothing. We're not doing nothing though, we're attaching so many energies, right? Okay, now we get to do another basin. We have to be careful though because they are playing a bench snipe deck. We have no Menifee, so if they do a boss, they can strategically knock out 2 Pokemon late stage in the game. So don't Magma Basin too many times. I think once is okay though. We should have just stopped at, you know, the second one. We shouldn't have done a Basin on the second Charizard. I don't think it's necessary. Okay, we got a boss for the next turn to kill off the Crobat. If they play a Collapse Stadium, they can discard the Crobat on their turn. So that's the power of Collapse Stadium. That card actually helps you remove your V cards from being targeted. Your 2-price liability, you get to use the Dark Asset ability and then remove it from play later on after using it. Zigzagoon again. Oh my goodness, I forgot about Zigzagoon. So 120. They need 2 more Zigzagoons though. They need 2 more Zigzagoons to kill the Charizard. They need Scoop Up Net, right? Okay, they could still quite easily pull it off, so let's not underestimate them. I wonder how many more Scoop Ups they have. Should have checked, but I apparently did not. I did not think it was necessary, I suppose. So telescopic sight for Inteleon VMAX, quite obsolete though, because Brilliant Stars we got Menifee. I don't think you get to play this anymore in the standard meta. Not even on the ladder, because Menifee is so common. For any deck, you're bound to match up with a Menifee, right? I mean, the only reason we're not playing that card is because we're trading it for the speed. We want higher speed for our Charizard stage 2 to be summoned faster and easier, with Clefable as well. So putting this as the active actually avoids a what do you call that? 2 Pokemon knockout, a multi-price knockout. They can collect 2 prize if they do a boss the next turn, and hit our Charizard on the bench with 2 Scoop Up Nets. They still need 2 Zigzagoons though. If they don't get Hit But Tantrum twice, if they don't pull it off, they still can't do a double Charizard knockout. So just to prepare for that, if they are able to pull it off, we should be benching another Charmander this turn. Are we able to do? We couldn't though. Well, we got a Battle Sense, so let's do it. We had to discard the Charmeleon, but we got a second Rod, so we shouldn't be worried. We are benching this. If they bullet the Charmander, we can attack with we can boss the Crobat with the second Charizard. If they kill the Charizard with the boss, if they kill both Charizard with the boss and 2 Scoop Up Nets, as I said, then we're basically screwed, because we need 2 more turns to evolve the next Charizard. So their only hope of winning the game, which is still possible actually, if they get enough Scoop Up Nets fast, is to boss the Charizard. They need 2 energies, a boss, and 2 Scoop Up Nets. Can they pull it off? That's not a lot, right? But I think they already played a couple of Scoop Ups. No, without Inteleon Shady dealings, I don't think it's that easy to get your specific item cards. So they got a Crobat with a Quick Ball. Now they're gonna get another one. Oh no, they decided to get nothing, so they get to draw more. They have to get a boss, 2 energies, and 2 scoops. Do they have it? That's 5 cards, right? Total of 5 cards. Please don't get it. 5 out of 6. Are they that lucky? You never know. If they attack with Inteleon though, we have to somehow kill off the VMAX. Oh, they just... Oh, we got a boss in our hand. We got a boss and we don't need to kill the VMAX, my bad. So they didn't do a double Charizard, they didn't do a single knockout. On their turn, that means we get to Royal Blaze for the win. 300 damage, no choice belt, but that's fine. That's enough to collect the last 2 prize for the win. So that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Have a great day and bye for now, lovely people. Enjoy your life.